Okay, good evening, Mind Prince. Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me? Good evening. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm trying to. Okay, that's good to know. It's good to know that you can hear me. Good evening, Judith. How are you doing? Yeah, okay, so the plan for today is that I'm going to do a recap of what we learned yesterday, before we start for today. And I'm going to get on with that. So yesterday we talked about. Okay, let me start sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay. So yesterday we talked about why posting consistently is not enough. I explained that consistency is just an amplifier, that it's not necessarily a strategy. And I said that if you're going to create content that converts, that is content that achieves a particular business goal or a personal goal. It could be for some businesses they want to make sales, for others they want to get more people to know about them. If you're going to publish content that achieves a particular business goal, you need to have the mindset of a broadcaster and the mindset of a PR manager, the mindset that helps you to know that or think of yourself as a PR manager, that where every piece of information matters, where every piece of information that you put out there about yourself matters. And I said also that yesterday that a content simply means a piece of packaged information. Packaged information means that it is properly arranged about you, about your business, about a brand created for another person. You're not the person consuming the content. You're not the person consuming the content, it's another person that is actually consuming. And every post you make teaches people how to think about your business. And then yesterday we also talked about the types of content. If you have this mindset that you're a PR manager, if you look at broadcasting or corporations, they usually have different kinds of shows, right? Some shows are targeted at discussing about politics, some discuss about the society, some discuss about things like human rights and the rest of them. Each of those shows are targeted at particular range of people, right? What is interesting to someone in his or her early 20s is not what is interesting to someone in his or her early 50s. And for TVs, they're usually targeted that they want to get different types of audiences. The same way is supposed to be the same thing for you as a business owner. And I mentioned three types of posts three types of content that you should have. There are so much more, but it depends on your business goals and it also depends on your type of business. I talked about brand building content. Brand building content are things that establish a strong identity and show people who you are as a brand. Make them know that you're somebody to do business with, make them know that you're somebody to associate with them. Testimonials. Testimonials is the name for feedback. For career professionals, we usually call this proof of work. Testimonials is simply, okay, somebody used your product and the person noticed a transformation, or you consulted, or somebody has, let's say you're a skincare brand and you're a consultant, and then somebody used to have acne problems and the person came to you, told the person what to do, and after doing that now, following your instruction, after 30 days the person has a result. That is a testimonial. The before and after, the transformation happened because of your solution. That is a result. Then for career professionals, maybe you met a business or they did not have a content marketer or a social media manager, meaning that their socials are not active, and then they hired you, you took their social media page to another level. So you're going to show where their social media page was and where it is right now after you've worked on it. So that is an example of a testimonial or proof of work, as the case may be. Then milestone posts. I said that people love to patronize or love to be part of a moving progressive vehicle. Milestone posts help to tell people that this person is growing. An example of a milestone post is something like maybe you hit 1,000 LinkedIn followers, or you hit 10,000 Facebook followers, or maybe last month you did 200 sales. This month you did 300 sales. That's a milestone. And I also mentioned that if you're familiar with watching business shows like Shark Tank and the rest of them, they usually ask the founders, the entrepreneurs, about what their sales is like in terms of progression. How much did you do last year? How much did you do this year? The essence is to understand whether this business is growing or if it is worth investing in. So you should also plan to talk about milestone posts. Even if you're going live on Facebook or YouTube for the first time and then 100 persons show up, then on the second day 200 people show up, that's a milestone post. Don't be ashamed of your milestones or your growth. The essence is to celebrate growth and show people that you're actually growing. And then, like I mentioned yesterday, we came to realize that consistency is just a multiplier. It's a good system, but it does not in any way change a bad strategy. And I used the illustration of two people, two friends. One usually takes soda, that what is it called, carbonated drinks, after taking any meal, whether it's fried rice and chicken or maybe eating bread and okpa. Instead of using water, Emeka just takes carbonated drinks and he's usually satisfied. Then on the other hand, his friend Paul, after taking a meal, he usually takes water. Now, two of them are taking in liquid. But in the long run, one person is going to get sick, and that will be Emeka. One person's kidney is going to stop working, and that will be Emeka. Why? The problem was not that he was not consistently taking in liquid, but he was consistently taking in the wrong liquid. It is the same thing for businesses. When you consistently publish in a wrong direction, you cannot publish the wrong type of post, you cannot achieve what you're aiming for. But then you're consistent, but you're not consistently doing what you should do. And we came to talk about the levels of execution, the levels of content that converts. And I said for content, any content that will convert is in two levels. The first level, particularly if you're starting afresh after attending this one, the first level is that you're going to know about your goal, your target audience, the content style, the call to action and budget. Your goal is the specific thing that you want to achieve. Do you want to make sales? Do you want to attract decision makers? Do you want to attract buyers? Let me show you people are still following. Okay. Do you want to do you want to attract buyers? What exactly is your goal? Do you want to get your first 100 customers? What is your goal? And then the second thing that you're going to consider is your target audience. Who are you targeting? Who 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 needs this solution right now? Then content style. I said in one of my videos, I shared how target audience shaped the content messaging for a fashion brand. What happened? They wanted to launch a ready to wear collection, and they told me that they do not want ready to that they wanted to run a ready to wear collection, and they want to do competitor analysis in order to find out what's going on in the market, how people are buying, and the kind of content they were going to create. And they told me that they do not want a ready to wear collection or brand that dances on TikTok. Now they specifically want ready to wear brands that appear on GTCO Fashion Week. Now, studying those brands made me realize that their messaging is really different, their positioning is different, everything about them is different, even their style of content. Now, if you're going to attract the type of audience that they are or that they are already serving, it means that your content style should also be in that way, because that audience is used to consuming that form of information. Then call to action. Call to action is what action do you want them to take? That is, if you want them to take any action. Do you want them to click the link on your bio to subscribe? Do you want them to visit your landing page? Do you want them to ask you a question? What exactly do you want them to do? And then the last thing is the budget. Budget is simply the resources you have available. Are you going to run paid ads? Is it going to be fully organic? Do you have resources? Do you need a video editor? Do you have resources to actually get these things, right? So you have to plan all of this. You have to plan all of this based on the budget you have available at the moment. Then after this level one, you publish content for like 14 days straight or 30 days. To move to the second level, because you're just testing in the first level, you are not yet correctly sure what your target audience wants. Now the second level is when you're going to introduce something. It's the same thing, but the only thing you're introducing here is performance data. Performance data is simply how your content has performed over that 30 days. When you do your target audience research and your content style research, you're going to come up with a list of content ideas and some things to post. Let's say you're a skincare brand and you're just basically selling products that has to do with acne and the rest of them. And on Monday you posted something that has to do with how to take care of your skin at night. The second day you posted something that had to do with industry news. The third day you posted a before and after, so like before, like you posted a client, how he or she was before the person used your product, and then and the transformation that happened after the person used your product. Now after 30 days, when you finish posting these types of content, remember you're also going to be posting them, like these things are pillars, content types. When you finish posting this type of content for like 30 days or 14 days straight, you will check your data to know the one that has the highest comments, the one that has the highest reach, the one that do not do well at all. Like if you see your dashboard, it's going to be red all over the place. The one that do not do well at all, it means that you should not even invest in making that type of content, that your target audience does not like it. And once you are able to look at your data, you're able to make informed decisions, and that's how you get a result. I'm going to talk about more about this when I start talking about the case studies. And then I went on to explain that a Vago, I met a fashion designer. No, I met one of my clients, a fashion designer. She said when I was building her online presence, she said that she wanted to serve celebrities, which is a very beautiful dream, but it's just a wish, it's not a goal. There are different types of celebrities. What type of celebrities? Sports celebrities, which type? And I gave her an instance. Do you want to be hired by top celebrities like Nancy and Sime that are invited to prominent award ceremony that can comfortably spend at least minimum of 300K on a single outfit? Now with this, we already know the type of person that we are targeting. The next thing to do is to conduct a research to find out who she is, the kind of clothes she wears. Does she wear senators? Does she wear, like, what kind does she is she a corporate girly? What kind of clothes does she wear? Now, where is she currently spending money? Who is she currently patronizing? What are her active platforms? Is she on Instagram? Where? If she's on Instagram, it means that your target audience probably be on Instagram. And how does she find her styles? Does she A lot of times when you view the stories of these people, they usually give like ideas on where they get their style. They'll say things like, oh, I saw this style on Pinterest and I sent it to my designer and the designer made a beautiful way and all that. Right? Once you get all of these things, you use the data to create content, and then you check your performance. and you repeat and improve. This is why you need to stop guessing. Use your data. Your data is like it's a very reliable tool for creating content that converts. If something is not working, check your data. What is it saying? And let's move to the case study. So this is the particular message I got when I started working with Global Shapers Community Enugu. They said they have a communication team that shares about what they do at the hub. That's their project, the hub activities, but they do not have a communication strategy. So for 3 years, they have not been positioned correctly. They have not been noticed, and they have not been collaborating with the right partners. So for 3 years, they've been posting. I'm going to show you what their Instagram. Oh, what did I just do? I'm going to show you this is what their Instagram looks like. It was filled with announcements, it was filled with birthday posts, which are actually nice. But then these are just two types of content out of the main they're supposed to be posting. If you want to attract a sponsor, if you want to attract a partner, these are not the kind of posts that attracts them. The posts that attracts them are things like impact reports. What have you been doing so far? Where did you people go? What exactly did you do? Now, after running them through my audit system, it took 3 hours. I audited their page, diagnosed it, got next steps, and we implemented that next steps. In January, their reach was about 1,000. Then after after the whole thing in January, I looked at their performance data. The next thing we did was that we doubled down on things that caused growth and cut out everything that was not growing. The reach jumped from 1,000 to 6,000. That is the power of performance data. Because performance data, you're not creating content. Remember that content is packaged information about yourself to another person. So it's not about you. You're supposed to create content that is relatable to the person that you're trying to impress. Not necessarily impress, but that's just a way for me to explain what I'm saying. Then the second example is myself. I said I started doing being visible online since 2020. The course I took that time, they told us to be posting like anything you do, just come and post it online. And I was doing that. The highest I could make, the times I made money was just 30,000, 25,000, 10,000, 10K here, here and there. But that thing changed till that thing changed in December 2024, which was when I completely secured a contract to work with the fashion brand I've been talking about for like I worked with them. The contract was like for 4 months and they were paying me 250,000. The initial offer was 400,000 for me to be coming to work every day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But we were able to come to the point of negotiation where it was now 250. Then I show up 2 times a week with other benefits involved. What happened? I did not change. The only thing that changed about me was just I strategically positioned myself. And literally, if you've been on the visibility challenge group, I've been sharing things that has been happening based on my positioning and the kind of opportunities that it has been attracting. Now, those opportunities, oh, sorry. Now, those opportunities are not just coming because I am online. They are coming because every content I put out has a particular aim, has something it's going to achieve. And I focus only on that. At the end of 30 days, I check my data to know what worked, what did not work, and what I'm going to improve so that I can 10x the results that I already have. And then I gave an assignment. I said that people, those that attended the class, should go and think about one thing they want to achieve in the next 90 days, that they should be specific, and then know who they are trying to attract. I've been saying a lot of times that on my LinkedIn, I literally want to attract decision makers or people that are close to decision makers. And I said here again, how will I know if my content is actually working? In my own case, how I know that my content is working is that I'm seeing decision makers checking out my profile, commenting on my posts, booking a call with me and all that. So these are the three foundational questions that you need to answer for day one. Now we are going to go to day two. Let me stop sharing my screen now and see if there are any responses for this day one so that I could just get into day two. Okay, let me see. Okay, everything is good and clear, right? Good evening, Beth James. Everything is good and clear so that I could just move into day two. Okay, so I am moving into. Okay. So I am moving into day two. Just hold on, my slides are still loading. Okay, so let me share my screen now. All right, so day two. Today we are going to talk about the hidden reasons why content underperforms. But before we talk about that, it's important that I emphasize this. Before now, I don't know, I've not reached out to everybody, but I'm in the process of doing that. I asked a lot of people questions, people on the group questions, what is your biggest problem? And they were saying things like, I don't have content ideas, I don't know what is working, I don't know if I'm in the wrong business, somebody's patronizing me, I've been posting for 2 years, nothing has happened, I've not had my big breaks, things like that and all that and all that. Those things are problems, right? But if you're going to look at a tree, I would just say that those things are leaves are not essentially the root cause of the problem. So before you do anything, if you notice that you're not getting the type of results that you want to get, the first thing you should do is to diagnose. So, and I use here the imagine you're having, like, you're not feeling well, and or you're feeling very cold. Now that could be a symptom of so many things, and it's easy for us to just say, oh, maybe it's malaria, it's typhoid, this is that. When you walk into the hospital, the doctor will just look at you and say, oh, I think it's this, but he or she will not prescribe any medication. He or she would ask you to go for a test. Now the person will now prescribe, the doctor will now prescribe a medication after seeing the test results. It is the same thing with content. If what you're doing is not working, the first thing you should do is to check why it's not working. I'm going to do a live audit so that I'll show you how to use AI to do that. But I want you to understand, have this particular mindset. Marketing works the same way. So, what are the reasons why content does not work? The wrong goal, creating content for casual engagement instead of business conversion. I was speaking to a business owner. I think she told me that she wanted a job. I think she said she wanted clients. And then I viewed her status. I did not see anything that relates to what she was doing or the kind of product that she was offering. And I thought you said you wanted clients. I thought you said you wanted somebody to patronize you. So, what is this that I'm seeing on your status? I'm not seeing anything. See, if you're into content creation or you're putting out or publishing content for conversion, when I mean conversion, for like sales, for like things like attracting customers, potential customers, to get partnerships and all that, you can't be creating content for casual engagement. No, you can't be jumping on every trend. That is why it is important for you to specify your goal. You can't jump on any trend. You can't talk about everything on your status. You can't talk about everything on your LinkedIn. Maybe something happened. I see a lot of people on Facebook. You said you have a business or you're helping people to get access to food and all that. But today you're talking about maybe something that happened in the celebrity world. What has that got to do with your conversion? Right? People cannot what it does is that it makes people not know what to actually patronize you for, because you're literally confused, and it makes you very, very forgettable. Now the second thing is wrong audience. It's important that once you identify your goal, you need to also identify the particular set of people that your solution is for. I consulted for a busy mom that wanted to start a baby care business. And I told her that the best thing for her to do is not really to start selling product, but rather to sell solutions, to share her knowledge based on her experience as a mother of two little boys. So she was supposed to start a WhatsApp community. She started the WhatsApp community, but the mistake she made was that she added everybody inside the WhatsApp community. And before then, I had told her that you don't need everybody in this community. The essence of this community is for it to be a way for you to actually convert convert customers, for it to be a way for you to attract partnership, for it to be a way for you to like do a whole lot of things, right? So you're not supposed to add everybody to the community. What you're supposed to do is to just talk about the community on your status or run an ad, and make sure you're speaking to the type of people that is new moms or expectant moms. Because that her strategy, what he made to the group was filled up, but she was the only person active. When she posts things, people will not respond. And really, in the long run, if she continues like that, it will not be able to convert because she added people that are not interested in the product. I know a lot of times we are very obsessed with numbers, particularly as business owners or as career professionals, but quality is better than quantity. It is better to have like maybe like 10 or 20 people or 30 people who are genuinely interested in what you're doing, than you have your village people that will not be able to trust you or give you or pay you give you money in exchange for the value that you're contributing. Now the third thing is weak messaging, which is writing what you like to read instead of what your audience needs. See, if you go through the things that I said for day one, I mentioned that I talked about how you're going to do your audience research. Now, the essence of that audience research is so that you're creating content with data that shows you what your audience needs. You're not the person that is going to buy your product. So you are not supposed to write only what you like to read, except if you're running a passion project or passion stuff where you don't have any goal for conversion. No problem, that's okay. That's okay. You can also do something where you're writing only for yourself. With time, people will start reading it. But it's a different case when you've decided that, okay, this is your business, I sell shoes. This is my business, I bake cakes. You cannot write what you like to read. You need to do what your audience needs. Means that you're also going to be listening to understand the kind of language that they use, to understand the way they express or talk about their problems, the ones that you solve. The fourth thing that is killing your conversion is poor positioning. Like I talked about somebody that said she helps people to, like, busy people to get access to foodstuffs and the rest of them. Today she's talking about, oh, patronize me. I will help you to, you don't need to, I will help you to get access to foodstuffs at the correct prices. The next day, she's talking about Nigeria and the problems in Nigeria. It could have been better if she positioned the problems in Nigeria in a way that shows her as a solution, or if she was specific about the problems. For instance, today I was at the AM show at Afia TV, and I was talking about scaling businesses, small businesses with AI. When I talked about it on my LinkedIn, I talked about how small businesses were like facing a problem, how they were very important to the economy and all that. I did not come to talk about bad governance or anything. The reason I went through that way because I needed to position the TV show as something that is very, very relevant, position myself as an authority in the industry. So if you have a poor positioning, you're going to be perceived as a general person. And nobody is going to tell you, just that the only thing is that nobody is going to be coming to your DM for to patronize your services or referring you, because they don't know what they are going to refer you for. You're literally doing everything, right? The second thing is no visible trust, failing to display clear proof of concept, live results or frameworks. No visible trust, I talked about it, testimonials. Don't mind this. I've seen a lot of persons saying things like, oh, you post too much, talk about, don't be tired of posting the results that your clients are getting, and don't be ashamed of it. If somebody's page was at 100 and you moved it to 110, don't be ashamed of it. It is a transformation with the kind of resources that you have. It is a transformation. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of it at all. I posted a video of how I helped a client to figure out the kind of content he should be posting. I did not help him to make 1 million. I did not help him to make 500,000. I helped him to get clarity. Obviously, it saved him from investing his money and his time into creating like the wrong type of content. But I did not make 1 million. And literally, there was this imposter syndrome, like, oh, Amara, this is not such a big or huge deal. Like, I've seen marketers online, they'll say things like, I helped this company grow from $1 million in revenue to like 100 million in revenues. But I still posted it, and that thing got me a job offer. So you need to display clear proof of concept, clear results, clear framework, no matter how little in quote it is. The second thing is a weak offer. Presenting a confusing service structure that forces buyers, you're not necessarily clear. Anything you're doing that has to do with conversion, you need to be clear about it so that people will understand what it is that you're selling at a go, at just looking at it, you understand what you're selling. There's no need to use ambiguous words that will confuse your target audience. Use something that is clear so that they understand what you're saying, the value that you're offering, and they are able to key into it. Another thing is no clear CTA. Not every You are not supposed to put CTA in every post, but it depends on your goals, right? If you're posting, for instance, I went to the AM show today at Afia TV. I had a show today at Afia TV interview. I already talked about a little about it on Facebook. I posted like a short clip from the video on Facebook. I am not looking for engagement. That post is there for people to see that, oh, true, Amara Chukwu was interviewed today at the TV station. There was no engage, comment, tell me, because the essence of that post, it's just a positioning on evidence-based post, right? But for posts that need clear CTA, like join this link, join this group, sign up, send a DM, you need to be clear so that they know where they are going next. So that they know where they are going next. The next thing is the misplaced value trap. Why do viewers like and go without commenting or buying? You would not necessarily know unless you run. These are just some of the reasons that is happening, but you will not necessarily know unless you use market data to check it. One of the things that happens that for people who just like and go without commenting or buying is that you're just a documenter, not a solution provider. People who consume the free tips are not, when you just talk about, oh, this is why AI is important, and you know that you're selling a product, you're not positioning yourself as a solution for that product. People are just going to like and go without necessarily converting into sales or community. Another thing is creating content based on individual assumptions rather than market data. I've showed you how it's important to actually check your performance data always, because that is market data. That is showing you what people are looking for. That is showing you how people are consuming content. There was a time I was working with a food brand over here in Enugu. They wanted to attract a particular set of people. And I checked out other food brands, the restaurants that like they are doing the kind of things that they are doing. I saw that these people, they post consistently. Like they are always posting different kinds of this. They are posted by 9 a.m. They're posted by 12. Like they post consistently. And all their pictures are in a certain way. We modify that, and the organic growth, like the organic views of their page went up. Now that was not based on individual assumption, was not based on my assumption. I had to go and check out others to see where these people are going, to know the kind of things that they are expecting from our own page at that time. And the next thing is also your posting generic words of encouragement to keep the page alive. See, anything you put out there should be in line with your goal, should be in line with your content, with your content type. Don't misplace your priorities at all. Remember why you're showing up in the first place. Anything you're putting out there, don't fall into the trap of encouragement, or that is if it's possible that words of encouragement are part of your content pillars, right? But if it's not part of it, the point I'm trying to make is don't misplace your priorities. Just make sure you're focused on your goal and you're consistently checking your data. The next thing I want to talk about is the chat GPT fatigue. I know a lot of times, for some people, they told me that they use chat GPT, but they don't it doesn't give them the required result, right? So I want you to understand that chat GPT is just a technology and a machine. It's as good as the information that you give it. Is as good as the information that you give it. Same thing with your doctor. If you do not tell your doctor the complete details of everything that has happened to you, or maybe you try to hide a particular fact, your doctor is going to give a wrong prescription or a wrong diagnosis, and then everything keeps happening to you, if not more. It's the same thing with ChatGPT. For you to use it properly, you need to feed it with correct information, well detailed information. I shared a prompt system, I shared a script for training your ChatGPT. I also shared another script that would allow you to repurpose one content into 6 platforms without necessarily losing the quality and all that. If you look at that prompt, if you look at that script, you see how detailed it is. With that type of script, ChatGPT will not give you like a generic test. It is going to give you something that is correct, and that's because it was prepared with details. That's because it was prepared with it was prepared with details. So now, for you to find out why, I've mentioned 7 things that causes content to underperform. But the truth is that the list can go on and on. For global shapers, like I told you, they were not posting partner-based content that attracts partners. And the only way we found out was through AI, was through using ChatGPT to like analyze their social media. And that was how we found out. So for any problem that you're facing, the first thing you need to do is to use AI as an objective data mirror. Why it's important is because AI, like ChatGPT is an LLM, it has access to large volumes of data, and you could leverage on that. It can act as your content strategist, it can act as your marketing strategist, and you don't need a marketing, you don't need to understand market because it already has that information. So if regardless of the problem that you're facing, whether you're having low sales, you don't know what to post, you don't know what to post is also a sign of lack of clarity. You don't know what to post, you're posting, people are not engaging, you're posting, people are not engaging, you're scared of running out of content either, you don't know how to start content creation. The best thing to do is to first use it to identify the exact oh sorry use it to identify the exact black spots, that blind spots, the exact blind spot that you have right now. So for today, our your homework is to audit your feed. Look closely at your last 5 published content posts. Let me be sure. Oh, okay. Look closely at your last 5 published content posts. Grade them strictly against the 7 blockers that I just mentioned now. Now, identify the specific reasons. Just use your hand. Just look at it based on what I've said today. Just look at it. Tomorrow we'll talk about AI and possibly audit some pages live. So I would really advise you to show up tomorrow. I don't know if there are questions. We've come to the end of today's streaming. Tomorrow we'll talk about AI, we'll talk about audience, and talk about positioning mistakes. You could also do these assignments and bring your observations to me. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. Just screenshot the assignment. Look closely at your last 5 published content posts. Grade them based on the 7 blockers I talked about tonight. And just look at it and tell me and tell yourself what you think is the reason your content has not been doing well. Okay. Okay, at this point, are there any questions? Any questions? Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for your kind words. Donato Springs, thank you. The slides are not visible enough. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, Esther, I think I will make the slides available. I will make the slides available. I'll make the slides. You're interested in the slides, just send me a message from the WhatsApp group. Yes, yes, I will make the slides available. And I think I asked everybody to fill a form. I asked everybody to fill a form. I'll send the slides to everybody that fill that form though. So any questions? Yeah, you're welcome, Esther. Any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, I'm going to end the live stream right now and I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow by the same time, 7 p.m. I think I'm just going to screenshot. Oh, I don't know if you attended this class and you need the slides because you need to do the assignment. Just send me a message. Send me a message and I'll send it to you so that you can do the assignment. But after the whole 5 days, I'm going to send the slides to all those who fill the form there. So, all right. See you tomorrow. Bye.